Hello and welcome. In today's video, I will be examining the case of Juanita Coyle Pillay. First, I will provide a summary, followed by an exploration of the possible psychological dimensions of the perpetrator. On a quiet Sunday afternoon in Maryland, a phone call shattered the calm of a waterfront community. A woman known for her brilliance, her faith, and her groundbreaking work in cybersecurity was gone. And the person responsible was someone she loved most. The 911 call. On July 25, 2021, police were called to a home on Genoa Road in Tracy's Landing. A man reported his partner, 58 years old Juanita Coyle Pillay, missing. He was unable to reach her by phone, and when he went to her home, her car was gone. Inside her home, he found blood. Officers arrived just after 3:28 p.m. What they discovered next would turn a missing person call into a homicide investigation. Discovery of the body. Inside the home, officers found blood in the master bedroom. Outside, a trail led them across the property. Partially hidden, they found Juanita's body. She had suffered multiple wounds caused by a sharp object. She was pronounced dead at the scene. Juanita was no ordinary person. Born in Sri Lanka and raised in India, she was surrounded by family, faith, and education from an early age. In the 1980s, she moved to the United States, earning advanced degrees in computer science and mathematics. She spent more than 30 years as a pioneer in cybersecurity, co-creating systems used by the US government, founding multiple companies, and serving on FEMA and Department of Defense initiatives. Just weeks before her death, Juanita launched yet another company. But to those who knew her best, her greatest role was not CEO, it was mother. The investigation. Detectives recovered a knife believed to be the murder weapon. From the start, investigators believed the attack was not random. As they interviewed friends and family, one detail stood out. Juanita's adult son, Andrew Beavers. He had been living with her. Witnesses reported prior assaults. They also shared that he often drove her car. And after the murder, he was gone. Who was Andrew Beavers? Andrew was described as quiet and reserved. He loved music and attended Berklee College of Music. But during the pandemic, he was sent home and moved back in with his mother. Behind closed doors, tensions were reportedly growing. Andrew found. One day after the murder, Andrew along with Juanita's missing car were found nearly 70 miles away at his father's home in Virginia. Detectives noticed a fresh bleeding cut on Andrew's hand. He offered no explanation. Days later, forensic testing revealed both Juanita's and Andrew's DNA on the knife. He was arrested and charged with murder. The trial. In August 2023, more than 2 years after Juanita's death, the case went to trial. Andrew entered a plea of not criminally responsible, claiming mental illness prevented him from understanding his actions. His defense argued his mental health deteriorated during the pandemic. Prosecutors countered with evidence of past violence and argued Andrew knew exactly what he was doing. They suggested a motive, an ultimatum from Juanita: get a job, get treatment, or move out. Verdict and sentencing. The judge found Andrew guilty of first-degree murder and weapons offenses. He was ruled criminally responsible. In January of 2024, he was sentenced to life in prison. Andrew did not attend his trial or sentencing in person. Instead, he watched from a screen inside his jail cell. Forgiveness. In the face of unimaginable loss, Juanita's family chose forgiveness. Her brother and sister in law shared that their faith led them to forgive Andrew and hope he receives mental health care. Juanita Coyle Pillai lived a life defined by intelligence, compassion, and service. Her death was tragic, but her legacy endures in the systems she built, the people she mentored, and the love she gave. Matricide, the killing of a mother by her son, is one of the most unsettling crimes examined in criminal psychology. Rare and deeply complex, these cases force investigators and experts to look beyond motive alone and into a slow accumulation of psychological strain, family conflict, and environmental pressure. I will now explore some possible psychological dimensions of the perpetrator. Contrary to popular belief, matricide is almost never the result of a single event. Instead, it emerges at the intersection of mental illness, fractured relationships, and long standing emotional tension. Mental illness is frequently present in these cases. Psychotic disorders such as schizophrenia can distort reality itself. Delusions or hallucinations may cause a son to perceive his mother not as a caregiver but as a threat. Severe mood disorders, such as major depression or bipolar disorder, can further impair judgment, increasing emotional volatility and impulsive behavior. In some instances, personality disorders marked by aggression, emotional instability, or lack of empathy contribute to a breakdown in moral restraint. At the center of many cases lies a troubled relationship. Years of unresolved conflict, control, or emotional dependence can quietly intensify. What may appear ordinary on the surface often conceals deep resentment beneath. For some sons, dependence, financial, emotional, or social, creates a sense of entrapment. When attempts at independence are blocked, frustration can escalate into rage. The roots of these crimes often trace back to childhood. Exposure to abuse, neglect, or chronic dysfunction increases the likelihood of violent behavior later in life. Difficulties separating from the mother during adolescence or adulthood can result in unhealthy attachment or profound resentment. External pressures frequently act as a final catalyst. Economic hardship can magnify feelings of powerlessness, while substance abuse lowers inhibitions and impairs judgment, turning volatile situations into irreversible ones. In the end, matricide is really spontaneous. It is the outcome of multiple vulnerabilities converging: psychological instability, fractured family bonds, and mounting external stress, until a breaking point is reached. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, kindly like, share, and subscribe. And as always, take care of your emotional and mental health. See you in the next.